So heat number 1, Johnson red, Dave Mullett in blue, Ronnie Corrie in yellow and black, and Gordon Kennett in white. And straight away it's Johnson who gets to the front, coming out of the second turn. Corrie trying to drive round the outside of him, but Johnson's got there. Per Johnson in red for Reading leads. Ronnie Corrie in yellow and black tucked in behind him. The muck being thrown up by the back wheels, which is totally filling in the riders behind the pack. In third place at the moment is Gordon Kennett, and Dave Mullett back in fourth position. So it's Per Johnson, the former world champion, of course, from Sweden, who leads heat number 1. 2 laps now gone. Ronnie Corrie in yellow still in second place, just waiting for the mistake to come from Johnson and it through, and a separate battle for third and fourth positions as well. So the rain, which came down late morning here at Smallweed, flooding the track, and the track staff working well on the surface, and the delay in the start time of about 1.5 hours, hopefully trying to dry out the circuit. It's, well, let's just say it's got underway. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it does dry out and the rack condition gets a little bit better as we go on, but it's Per Johnson who comes and takes the win in heat number 1. Second place goes to Ronnie Corrie, third place to Gordon Kennett. So heat number 1 is a shared race. It's 3 points for a win, 2 for second, 1 for coming third. So it's Reading on 3, Wolverhampton on 3, and Per Johnson from Reading is the winner of the opening race here in the first leg of the 1992 Gold Cup final. Here we see Jan Andersen from Reading, a very, very good reserve for them in the months of August and September. He rides in blue. His partner in red is Phil Morris, a youngster just breaking into the sport. And for Wolverhampton, Nigel Lever rides in white, and Stephen Morris is in yellow-black. 3 to each side after heat number 1. This is heat number 2. Up with the tapes, those engines roar into that turn, and Jan Andersen has got there, which is not really totally unexpected. Andersen leads, but Phil Morris is in second place, just under pressure now from the rider in white, which is Nigel Lever. Bit of argy-bargy between those two, and now Phil Morris heads clear of those 2 Wolf riders. So at the moment it's Reading first and Reading second, which is the maximum heat advantage. Still back in third place is Nigel Lever. So Jan Andersen, the veteran from Sweden, had his testimonial season for the races back in 1989, won a league championship medal with the club in 1980 and in 1990. So a tremendous campaigner for the Reading team, having a spell at reserve, which is proved quite successful both for him and the team in general. And it's Andersen with 1 more lap to go. Phil Morris in second place. Nigel Lever still in third position. And it looks as though Reading are going to take the lead in heat number 2, barring any unforeseen accidents on the final 2 bends on a treacherous track at this moment here at Smallmead. But it's Andersen who takes the win. Second place is Phil Morris, and in third position, a long way back, is Nigel Lever. So it's the Reading racers who take an early lead, heat number 2, a 5-1 heat advantage. They now lead Wolverhampton by 8 points to 4, and Jan Andersen gets the checker flag first for his win in that particular race. To move on to heat number 3, which is Amanda Castagna red, Ray Morton blue for Reading, and the 2 Ermolenko brothers, Charles and Sam, for in white and yellow and black, and straight away it's the Wolverhampton pair who hit the front. Sam Ermolenko and his brother Charles in yellow and black, and Sam just tucked in nicely behind him. They really did speed from the tapes. Electric start from those 2 boys. They know what the conditions are going to be like. They know they've got to get out in front to miss all the flying shale. Amanda Castagna in third position, going out very wide. So it looks as though Wolverhampton are going to claw their way back in this one. Charles Ermolenko leads in yellow from his brother Sam, tucked in nicely behind him. 2 laps gone on his 307-metre circuit at Smallmead. Wolverhampton, of course, are the current league champions, and Reading won the title back in 1990, so 2 of the leading clubs in British Speedway at this moment in time, with 1 more lap to go in heat number 3. Charles Ermolenko still leading, looking very neat and tidy. His brother, well, not doing anything silly, just making sure that the opposition stays at bay. And in Speedway, you get paid for the win if you follow your team man home. As Matthew Castagna hits the mud. So we're in the final 2 bends of heat number 3. They're looking set for a 5-1 for the opposition Wolves. As Charles Ermolenko gets the win. His brother Sam is in second place. Ray Morton coasting home for the solitary point. So another 5-1, this time to Wolverhampton, with the 2 Ermolenko boys doing the biz. So after 3 heats, the scores are locked together. It's Reading 9 and Wolverhampton 9. Charles Ermolenko getting a good win in heat number 3. riders coming up to the line for heat number 4. There we see Jeremy Doncaster in red. Jem, as you know, English international, several seasons with Ipswich before they pulled out of the league and he moved cross-country to Reading. His partner is Phil Morris in blue. Peter Carlson being excluded for 2-minute time allowance, and Nigel Lever and Stephen Morris, the two riders for Wolverhampton. It's Jeremy Doncaster and Phil Morris who've got there for Reading, but look at Lever coming around the outside of Phil Morris. A good manoeuvre by him. Phil Morris back on him. The crowd at Smallmead here under the stand as the rain still falls, getting excited with that manoeuvre. Doncaster leads Phil Morris and Nigel Lever, oh, together, and down goes Lever. Lever hits the deck and Phil Morris carries on, and certainly Lever does not look very happy with that at all. And we have to say it looked very much as though Phil Morris went underneath and took Lever's leg from him. At this moment in time, the race has been stopped. We wait to see what this referee is going to do this afternoon. It's Mick Barnes from Devon. Let's take another look in the slow motion cameras, which we can assure you that the referee does not have at his availability. So Doncaster well in front. At this stage, Lever on the outside and Phil Morris on the inside, and it, well, was there any contact? It certainly looked so from the other camera position on the first turn, and Nigel Lever, I'm sure, will argue his case to the referee. Still, he's glad to be back in Speedway. Had a spell with Mildenhall before their closure back at the start of the season, and just was glad when Wayne Carter was injured and he stepped into the Wolverhampton team. So the restart, Nigel Lever being excluded by the referee as cause of the stoppage. So Jeremy Doncaster rides in red, Phil Morris blue, and Stephen Morris in yellow. Restart of heat number 4. Straight into that first turn, and Doncaster yet again with the lead, but this time Phil Morris is being battling with Stephen Morris, but Phil Morris overcomes the challenge. Phil Morris now in second place, and down goes Stephen Morris. Bearing in mind there's no team member with him, he's got to get on his feet again to try and get going for that point. Doncaster leads. Second place, Phil Morris. Stephen Morris now remounted and coming round. Doncaster still leads. And down goes Stephen Morris again onto the track, and it's all happening here at Smallmead this afternoon. There you see Stephen Morris now being lapped up. Phil Morris does the actual acrobats, but goes on round. I'm sure now Reading are going to get a 5-0 heat advantage. Doncaster gets the win. Coming round to take 2 points is Phil Morris. So it ends up as 5-0 to Reading in heat number 4. 3 stagings of this particular race, but eventually it's Reading on a 5-0. There we see Jeremy Doncaster and Phil Morris having all sorts of acrobats, and it's 14-9 in Reading favour as we move on to heat number 5, which sees Armando Castagna ride in red for Reading. His partner in blue is Ray Morton. For Wolverhampton, in white is Gordon Kennett, and yellow and black, pint-sized Californian Ronnie Corrie. So just to recall, these two sides meet this afternoon over 15 heats, and the conclusion takes part tomorrow evening up there at Monmore Green before we know the outcome of the 1992 Gold Cup final. Under starting orders for heat number 5, up go the tapes, those engines roar into action, and yet again it's Ronnie Corrie and Armando Castagna. You've got the Corrie, and down goes the rider in white, which is Gordon Kennett. He's hit the desk, on goes the other 3 riders. Let's take another look and see what happened as the tapes rose on this one. Corrie gets a good start, goes across Ray Morton. Armando Castagna gets a good start, tries to drive round the outside of Ronnie Corrie, which begins to lock up. Seems that Gordon Kennett just tried to cut back on the inside of them and basically just slid into no man's land. Down he goes. But the referee decides all 4 back for the restart of heat number 5. Track conditions proving just a little bit difficult, as you can see here at Smallmead this afternoon, but with these two teams in every still remaining cup and league fixture and competition, they don't want this one postponed. The fixture list is already full up as we get underway for the restart of heat number 5. Yet again, it's Corrie who's got there. Corrie leads in yellow, Castagna and Ray Morton tucked in behind him, but it's the pint-sized Californian Ronnie Corrie who leads heat number 5. Ray Morton blue is second place, Armando Castagna third, and Gordon Kennett the faller, first time out, back in 4th position. So good old Ronnie Corrie, 3 world final appearances, 4 now to his name, and hasn't really established himself in the big world final appearances. Yet to do that, but very good in the American test side, already beating England 2-0, with 1 more still to go at Swindon, meeting we'll see here on the screen sport later in our series, and also helping the Americans to the World Pairs Championship, and one of the foursome which goes to Cumberland next Saturday for the World Team Cup final. 1 more lap to go in heat number 5, and Ronnie Corrie really leading by the proverbial mile. Races, of course, for Gotland in the Swedish Elite League. They're back in 3rd position in that league at the moment in time, so doing rather well is our Ronnie Corrie. He comes over his shoulder, but he comes up to take the win. It's Corey who gets there. Second place is Ray Morton, and Armando Castagna back in third position. So heat number 5 is a drawn race. 3 points apiece and a progressive score now after 5 races. The Reading Racers move on to 17, and the Wolverhampton Wolves are on 12. And it's a good win, an easy win for the rider in yellow and black, Ronnie Corey, in heat number 5. Heat number 6 is next on the agenda with Perry Johnson riding in red. His partner in blue is Dave Mullett. For Wolverhampton in white is Peter Carlson, Nigel Lever coming in yellow and black. Heat number 6. Up to go the tapes, the clutches dropped, fixed gears, and they roared to that first turn, and it's Johnson who's got in red. Johnson leaves, Peter Carlson in second place, Dave Mullett third. That's the order down the back straight on the first lap, but it's Johnson who has got pole position at this moment in time with 1 lap gone. Peter Carlson behind him in second place, having a very, very good season is Peter Carlson, not only in England, but with Mariestad as well in the Swedish Elite League. Twice Swedish Speedway champion. The fella in front of him, Perry Johnson, has done that feat on 3 occasions, 3 consecutive years, 86, 87 and 88, and Carlson in 89 and 91, so bags of experience between them. But Johnson still leads, heat number 6. Still Peter Carlson in second place and Dave Mullett third. Dave Mullett getting filled in just a little bit at the back. He celebrates his testimonial season with the races this year in just a couple of weeks' time here at Smallmead. But coming out to take the win in heat number 6, it's Perry Johnson that gets there first. Second place goes to Peter Carlson, and Dave Mullett back in third position. So heat number 6 is a 4-2 heat advantage to the home club, the Reading Racers. They now extend the lead. It's now 21 to the Reading Racers and 14 to the Wolves. And Perry Johnson gets a good win, easy win for his standards. No challenge coming from Peter Carlson after the first lap in heat number 6. So that's the way they line up. It's 21 to 14. We move on to heat number 7, which sees the Ermolenko boys for Wolverhampton. This pairing got a 5-1 for them last time out. That was in heat number 3. The opposition this time is Jeremy Doncaster in red, Phil Morris in blue, and Charles Ermolenko is in yellow and black. Sam Ermolenko is in white. That's the way they line up for heat number 7, with 21 playing 14 in Reading's favour. Engines roar into that first turn. Doncaster locked on the inside of the 2. Ermolenko boys have yet again got the drive. This time it's Sam in the lead, Charles, his brother, behind him. So a great manoeuvre by the Ermolenko boys as the Wolverhampton fans begin to cheer here at Smallmead. It's been a long wait for all the fans, some 1.5 hours before racing has got underway, which is no fault of anybody. We've just tried to get the old track dried a little bit so the racing can take place. A wise move, and I'm sure a good one. At this stage in heat number 7, it's Wolverhampton who are going to claw their way back in this Gold Cup final. First leg, I know that Reading's team manager Tim Sugar was looking for something in the region of a 10-point lead to take to Monmouth Green tomorrow evening, and his counterpart Peter Adams just wanted the scores as close as possible, if not a Wolverhampton win. And certainly at this moment in time, the Ermolenko boys are going to reduce the deficit somewhat. Looking very, very fast from the start of these two, and that's just all you need. Is it's Sam Ermolenko gets the win, his brother Charles tucked in behind him, and Jeremy Doncaster in third position. So Ermolenko's get the 5-1 heat advantage in this heat number 7. That reduces their errors. It's now 22 to Reading and 19 to Wolverhampton. Here's the delight of the Wolverhampton fans who have made their way down, and I'm sure they're quite pleased with the result of heat number 7. Heat number 8, the rain stops. A little bit of bright sky at long last here at Smallmead, which I'm sure will not go amiss for the fans alike. The lineup for this one: Dave Mullett rides in red for Reading. His partner Jan Anderson in blue. For Wolverhampton, Ronnie Corey in white in gate number 4. They're just having a bit of conflab with the starting marshal, mud-splattered starting marshal, and in yellow-black is Stephen Morris. Well, gating, as you can probably appreciate in any sort of sport, motorsport is quite essential, but with conditions like this, it's very, very important to be in some sort of challenging position in the first and second bends, because after that, if you go out very wide, you'll get filled in by a lot of mud which is being thrown up by the back wheels of these machines. Starting marshal getting anxious with the riders as they now come in to the line. 22 plays 19 in Reading's favour at this moment in time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is heat number 8. Up go the tapes, the engines roar into action, and the first one to show is Corrie, who drives round the riders on that first turn, and that was from gate number 4. What a fabulous start from him. There's still better starters in the game than the Americans, and Ronnie Corrie's certainly showing us what he's going to be doing next Saturday, he hopes, in that World Team Cup final in Kumlin, Sweden. Jan Andersson tucked in behind him, and Stephen Morris in third position, which is just a little bit of a surprise, and Dave Bullock tailed off in 4th place. So Wolverhampton certainly coming back with a bang in the last 2 races here at Smallmead. Ronnie Corrie leads, the track's beginning to dry out a bit, and all the shale being moved out to the outside of the circuit. 307-metre circuit here at Smallmead, with the track record standing at 58.1, currently held by Per Jönsson. So it's Corrie that leads, still Jan Andersson in 2nd place, Stephen Morris 3rd. So another heat advantage for Wolverhampton, which is going to bring the old Scholes on the ball very close, and it's Corrie who gets the win. 2nd place is Jan Andersson, 3rd place, and a good one for him, is Stephen Morris. So it's a 4-2 heat advantage to Wolverhampton in heat number 8. And at the halfway stage here at Smallmead, just 1 point between the two sides. It's the Reading Racers on 24, the Wolverhampton on 23. Let's take a look at the individual scoreboard. The Racers 24 is made up with Jönsson unbeaten on 6, Mullet just 1, Doncaster 4, Morton 3, Amanda Castagna 1. The 2 reserves playing their part, Phil Morris on 4 and Jan Andersson on 5. Reading's total after 8 races, 24. Wolverhampton 1 point behind on 23, Gordon Kennick 1, Corrie 8, Carlson 2, Ermolenko 5, Ermolenko 5, Leverett 1 and Morris 1. The lineup for week number 9, Amanda Castagna there in red, the mud-spattered Amanda Castagna, well, everybody is these days in this conditions. Jan Andersson, his partner, in blue, Peter Carlson there in white going into gate number 1, and his partner in yellow and black is Nigel Lever. So 24 plays 23 in Reading's favour, and really is very tight, very tense out there. No side wants the other one to get too far in front, as we look now for the action of heat number 9. Up go the tapes into that first bend, they speed, and Castagna's got there. Amanda Castagna leads. 2nd place is Peter Carlson, Nigel Lever now going on in front of him, and Jan Andersson back in 4th place, which is just a little bit of a surprise for Reading. But Amanda Castagna leads. Nigel Lever doing an excellent job for Wolverhampton, and Peter Carlson, I'm sure, been told by his team manager just to try and keep this one all square. Now trying to make sure that Nigel Lever is well covered in 2nd place. I'm sure that's the order of the day in Peter Carlson's mind at the moment. Jan Andersson has other thoughts and tries to make up ground on Peter Carlson. That's really where the battle lies in heat number 9. Amanda Castagna way in front and unaware of what's going on behind him in this one. There's Castagna, multi-world finalist, of course, from Italy. Last lap of heat number 9, he leads. Still in 2nd place is Nigel Lever, and this is a good ride from him. Peter Carlson tucked in nicely behind him, which leaves no way for Jan Andersson to come through. So coming up to take his first win of the afternoon, it's Amanda Castagna that gets there. 2nd place, and a good one for him, is Nigel Lever, and Peter Carlson back in 3rd position. So heat number 9 is a drawn heat, 3 points apiece, 3 points to each side. 27 now to Reading against Wolves 26, and as longer this match goes on, the more intriguing it becomes. But it's Amanda Castagna that gets to the checker flag in pole position in heat number 9. Racers coming to the line for heat number 10, which sees Per Jönsson ride in red. In blue is Dave Mullet. For Wolverhampton, Charles Ermolenko rides in white. Stephen Morris rides in yellow and black. Just 1 point between the two sides, 27 plays 26. And we look now to see what's going to be the outcome of this particular heat. Just to remind you that the conclusion of this Gold Cup final will not be known until tomorrow evening, when the two sides meet again for the 2nd leg at Monmore Green. So 3rd heats, fine speedway before the conclusion of this cup competition. Still, these teams fighting out in the Oldfar League and of course the Knockout Cup as well, so there's still a lot of speedway in England still to come. But from the tapes, it's Jönsson that fires across the pack. Jönsson leads, Charles Ermolenko now coming under pressure from Dave Mullet. The two clash down the back straight, but just Mullet holding on to 2nd place. So it's blood to Reading at this moment in time. Per Jönsson leads. 2nd place is Dave Mullet. 3rd position goes to Charles Ermolenko, who for the first time this afternoon didn't get a good start. His first 2 races with his brother Sam have resulted in 5-1 heat advantages to Wolverhampton, but not on this occasion. It's Per Jönsson who drove across them in that first turn, and Dave Mullet having a bit of a ding-dong with Dookie down the back straight on the first lap, but managing to overcome that challenge. So it's Johnson in first place, Dave Millett second, Charles Ermolenko third as we enter the final lap of heat number 10. Down the back straight for the final time, the track beginning to get very, very rideable and raceable, it's fair to say, as the wet shell is moved out to the outside, and it's Per Johnson coming up for his third win of the afternoon. And for Reading's calls, more importantly, Dave Millett, his partner, is in second place, and third place goes to Charles Ermolenko. So a 5-1 heat advantage to Reading, which increases their lead now to 5 points. Heat number 11, which sees Ronnie Corrie and Gordon Kennett. There we see Ronnie Corrie trying to get a little bit of grip for his front wheel in the mud here at Smallmead Stadium. Ronnie Corrie going into gate number 1. His partner is Gordon Kennett, he's yellow and black. And for the racers, it's Jeremy Doncaster there in red, and his partner Jan Anderson, who's in blue. So, 5 points between the two sides, so no moves of tactical substitutes whatsoever at this moment in time, because the sides are not 6 points apart, which I'm sure will please Tim Sugar, because he knows the strength of Wolverhampton's big two of Ronnie Corrie and Sam Ermolenko. But now I'm sure he'll be looking for the teams or his Reading side to pull away, and his counterpart Peter Adams will be looking to keep his riders in very, very close to this scoreline so they get in contention for tomorrow night's second leg up there at Monmouth Green. This is heat number 11. Up go the tapes, the engines roar, and the first one to show is, Corrie and Doncaster very nearly touching, but it's Gordon Kennett and Jan Anderson, the unlikely two that lead. Gordon Kennett in white, who heads the pack as they go into the third and fourth turn. Gordon Kennett, who was signed on by Wolverhampton to overcome the injuries sustained by Graham Jones, who's watching here this afternoon. Gordon Kennett doing a great job here in heat number 11. Fabulous seasons for Gordon in the past down with Eastbourne on the south coast, but now doing a very, very good job for Wolverhampton, it's fair to say. Gordon Kennett leads, Jan Anderson and Jeremy Doncaster tucked in behind him, and Rocket Ronnie Corrie back in fourth position at this moment in time. So an unexpected leader, and that's no disrespect to Gordon Kennett whatsoever, but it's Gordon Kennett that leads with one more lap to go. Former world number 2, of course, in the world back in 1978 at Wembley. He leads heat number 11 and looks likely to get his first win. He's got 1 point to his name in the opening race, and Gordon Kennett going to get a win in heat number 11. Heat wins. Second place goes to Jan Anderson, and third place goes to Jeremy Doncaster. So very many congratulations to Gordon Kennett. Fabulous win by him, a good start, and also overcoming the challenge of Jan Anderson down the back straight on the first lap. 3 points to Wolves, 3 points to Reading. Heat number 12 sees Per Johnson ride in red. His partner is Ray Morton in blue. Peter Carlson rides in white for Reading, and Sam Ermolenko is in yellow and black. Well, there we see Sam Ermolenko. Of course, these two ride in Sweden, Peter Carlson and Sam Ermolenko. Sam Ermolenko these days riding for Västervik, Peter Carlson with Mariestad. Per Johnson also riding in Sweden for Stockholm, and Ray Morton, the only unlucky one, who's not in Sweden or Poland or anyone these days, but doing quite a good job for the Reading racers. So 35 plays 30 in Reading's favour. This is heat number 12. Up go the tapes, and the first one to show is Peter Carlson lifts it. Johnson has got there. Johnson leads in red. Sam Ermolenko in yellow black in second place. So first blood to Per Johnson in red. Sam Ermolenko trying to come round and put on a challenge. 1 lap gone. Ray Morton tucked in behind them in third place, which could be a very important third place, from Peter Carlson in fourth. But it's Johnson that leads. Ermolenko trying to make up ground on Johnson as the track dries out, and the racing now gets better and better, race by race. Johnson red, Ermolenko yellow, Morton blue in that order, with Peter Carlson in fourth position, which is just a little bit of a surprise. But it's Johnson who comes up to take the flag for one more lap in heat number 12, which will mean 3 more laps of this first leg of the Gold Cup final of 1992. And Johnson round the final 2 bends of heat number 12 to collect his 4th win of this afternoon here at Smallmead. He wins. Ermolenko in second place and Ray Morton back in third. And that now means that the scores on the board mean 7 points between the two clubs. And the astute Peter Adams now brings in a tactical sub-ride for Sam Ermolenko to partner his brother Charles in heat number 13. The full lineup is Jeremy Doncaster in red, Amanda Castagna in blue, and replacing Gordon Kennick is attack sub-ride for Sam Ermolenko. He comes in white, and his brother Charles is in yellow and black. These two have already got two 5-1 heat advantages to the name already. 39 plays 32. This is heat number 13. And straight away, it's a rider in yellow and black, which is Charles Ermolenko, and down goes Doncaster in the mud and in the dirt. Let's take another look in slow-mo exactly what happened there. The rider speed out of the turn, going into that first turn. What exactly happens? Does Sam come out and take Donk's wheel? Well, really was left with nowhere to go, but the referee's decision is all back for the restaging of this particular race, which is good news. In these track conditions, the referee has got just to be a little bit lenient, and Mick Barnes, I'm sure, taking the track condition into consideration. So the full lineup for the restaging, no changes. Jeremy Doncaster in red, Armando Castagna blue, Sam Ermolenko in white, and Charles Ermolenko in yellow and black. And certainly the Ermolenko boys have played their part so far. As I've already told you, two 5-1 heat advantages in heat number 3 and 7 have played well in Wolverhampton's call so far. And there's 7 points between the two sides. And I'm sure team manager Peter Adams is hopeful that they can pull something out of the bag in this one, and equally his counterpart Tim Sugar is just hoping that one of the Reading boys can nip out of the trap and just keep them at bay for 4 laps here in heat number 13. It's all about tactics in Knockout Cup Speedway, and even the track conditions playing their part here at Smallmead this afternoon. So the restaging of heat number 13, the green light goes on, up go the tapes, and those engines roar into it, and yet again it is the Ermolenko boys that have got there. This time it's Charles and his brother Sam tucked in behind him, and really they have given everybody this afternoon a little bit of a lesson in starting techniques, it's fair to say. Per Jonsson has also played his part in starting, but for me, the Ermolenko boys know what the condition's all about, know what they had to do, and they've done it extremely well. Already twice this afternoon in heats number 3 and 7, they've done the biz with tremendous spirit and tremendous courage, and looks likely they're just going to repeat the dose and make it 3rd time lucky in heat number 13. And if they do, it will reduce the scores on the board quite drastically and set us up for a nail-biting finish here at Smallmead. Taking the flag for one more lap, it's Charles Ermolenko that leads, his brother Sam in 2nd place. Armando Castagna trying his hardest to come back, but just not finding anything as these two boys keep him at bay. Round the final 2 bends, coming up to take the win, it's Charles Ermolenko gets there. Sam, his brother, back in 2nd place, and Armando Castagna back in 3rd. So a 5-1 heat advantage to Wolverhampton, which is just what Peter Adams wanted with his tack sub manoeuvre, and that closes the gap. It's now 40 to Reading and 37 to Wolverhampton, and the tactical substitutes proving triumphant in heat number 13. We look at the riders then for heat 14, the penultimate race. Ray Morton rides in red, he goes into gate number 4. Jan Anderson, his partner, is in gate number 2. In white is Sam Ermolenko, he's in gate 3, and Nigel Lever is in yellow and black in gate number 1. 40 plays 37 in Reading's calls, and this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is heat number 40. Up go the tapes, the clutches dropped, and the engine spins that turn, and Jan Anderson has got the drop. Jan Anderson just took at Ermolenko, go around the outside of him. Ermolenko now takes the lead. Jan Anderson in 2nd place, Ray Morton in 3rd. What a great manoeuvre by Sam Ermolenko. Great manoeuvre to take in the front round the 2nd turn. Just picked up the drive, rounded Jan Anderson. At this moment in time, looking over his shoulder, dictating the pace of the race, which he can so easily do. Jan Anderson in 2nd position, and it looks as though Ray Morton is looking down at his bike, but he's got mechanical problems. And is that going to play a problem now as Nigel Lever seizes the opportunity to come through, much to the delight of the Wolverhampton fans. Now we have got another heat advantage to Wolverhampton, and they've clawed their way back in this first leg yet again. Ermolenko, Sam Ermolenko leads, heat number 14. Jan Anderson 2nd for Reading, and Nigel Lever 3rd. And another heat advantage is Ermolenko gets a win. Jan Anderson in 2nd place, and Nigel Lever, who's had a very, very busy afternoon, gets the 3rd place. So a 4-2 to Wolverhampton, which means the scores on the board after heat number 14, just 1 point between the two sides. 42 to Reading, plays 41 to Wolverhampton, and it's all up for grabs to see who goes into the 2nd leg tomorrow night is leaders after the 15 Sierra Speedway this afternoon at a very muddy and a very wet Smallmead Stadium. so the riders coming round to the line for heat number 15. It's all down to this one to see who goes into that second leg. His leaders, it's Per Jonsson in red and Jan Andersson in blue, the pairing for Reading. Peter Adams' choice for Wolverhampton is Sam Ermolenko white and his brother Charles Ermolenko in yellow and black. This pairing has already got 3 5-1 heat advantages to their name and to their team's score chart. Per Jonsson so far unbeaten for Reading, so something's got to give. There's a tapes rise on this very important heat number 15 here at Smallmead this afternoon. Up go the tapes, the engines roar into action, and at this moment it's Per Jonsson who leads. Jonsson in red, and down goes the rider in yellow and white as well. Both of them come down. We wait to see what the referee says of this one. Let's take another look from the first bank camera. Jonsson drives across the two of them, and really, well, Sam just loses ground and Charles just loses ground and Sam bails out to avoid the fallen rider. And I suppose it's fair to say the referee has got the right manoeuvre. Wait to see what he's going to do. So Vic Barnes' decision is all 4 riders back for the restaging of the eventful now heat number 15. And at the climax, it's fair to say, and the drama is just beginning to get the fever pitch here at Smallmead. Referee's decision, all 4 back, which is a wise move. Jan Andersson blue, Per Jonsson red for Reading, Sam Ermolenko white, Charles Ermolenko yellow and black for Wolverhampton. 1 point advantage to Reading at this moment in time. They want a lead advantage. Wolverhampton do too. They'd like to certainly go with a slight lead into that second leg tomorrow evening at Wolverhampton. Let's see what happens as the tapes rise on the restart of heat number 15. This time it's Ermolenko's who's got the lead, both of them, but it's the rider in yellow-black Charles who makes a muck-up, which lets his brother through, and the Reading pairing as well. So Sam Ermolenko leads. Second place goes to Jan Andersson. Per Jonsson third in that order with 1 lap gone. Charles Ermolenko, the early pace leader, made a terrible mistake on the second bend and let all 3 of them through. So at this moment in time, if it stays this way, it will be a 1 point slender lead that Reading take to Monmouth Green tomorrow evening. Is Sam Ermolenko leads, Jan Andersson second, Per Jonsson third, and Charles Ermolenko back in 4th position. All action here at Smallmead this afternoon, with the weather playing its part too in the happenings here. Oh, and Ermolenko is pulled up with engine problems, and the Reading fans go absolutely barmy as Jan Andersson and Per Jonsson now drift round, with Charles in 3rd place for a 5-1 heat advantage. Jan Andersson leads and wins, Per Jonsson in 2nd place, and Charles Ermolenko in 3rd place. So a 5-1 heat advantage to Reading. They now lead, or take the win in this first leg by 47 points to 42. Sam Ermolenko having engine problems on the final lap. There we see sudden Sam. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has to be talked about, because all the controversial between these 2 riders in the past weeks, Per Jonsson and Sam Ermolenko, comes to nothing. And all the pundits in Speedway magazines that have wanted to put some sort of conflict between these 2 sides can see now there is nothing whatsoever as Per Jonsson gives Sam Ermolenko a lift back to the pits. And in the final lap of heat number 15, there we see Ermolenko at that moment lock up and go out to the fence, and I'm sure it will be an engine seize in his cause, which done Wolverhampton's cause no good whatsoever. So Reading on 47 at the end of 15 heats. Jonsson unbeaten by an opponent on 14. Mullet 3, Doncaster 5, Morton 4, Castagna 5, Morris 4, and Jan Andersson trump card at reserve yet again on 12 points. Reading's total after 15 heats, 47 points. We then turn to the opposition, who I'm sure won't be too disappointed on 42. Kennett 4, Corey 8, Carlson 4, Charles Ermolenko on 10, and Sam Ermolenko 12, Nigel Lever 3, and Stephen Morris 1.